Okay, good morning. Welcome to today's crazy old episode of hashtag Rise and Grind. That was really amazing. All right, so now at this point, we have to make today's episode so incredibly impactful that all you remember is how you made it feel and the way that it changed your life, right? You don't remember any of that other stuff that just happened there at the beginning. So, with that said, we're going to kick it off. Let's go. Today's episode of hashtag Rise and Grind. Let's do this.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? See, there's no excuse for you not pushing yourself to the next level. In order for you to create a new you must have a new mindset. When teams come together, we can create things that are greater than the sum of all of their parts.
Good morning and welcome to hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the creator of what is going to be the #1 most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Tuesday. That's right. It's crazy Tuesday morning. Today is Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it will ever be Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most. And I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible, incredible day. Listen, I'm coming to you live from Napa Valley from the DMSC 2021 event right here in Napa Valley, California. That is Digital Marketing Strategy something. I don't even know. DMSC 2021. It's been an incredible event. I have learned so much over the last couple of days. We still have another day today, but this is one of those events that if you are in the automotive world, I didn't even know that this event existed. This is the first time. They've been going for 11 years. And if you are in the automotive world, set your calendars for next year. You're not going to want to miss it. I mean, it has been amazing. I have learned a lot. There are over 150 dealership owners that are here participating in the event, plus a lot of different vendors and technology companies and so on and so forth. Incredible speakers, and I've got to meet up with some of the hit list, right? Some of the A players in the auto industry, the Carrie Wise, the Brittany Hibden, right? A bunch of other folks that are more West Coast over here in the automotive world. So it's been an incredible, incredible experience. And what's crazy is as we're learning and we're talking and we're educating all of these dealers, right? These 150 dealers that are here just absorbing, just learning. You can tell that in every single one of them, there's this desire, right? There's this desire and this passion to win. A desire and a passion to win, because what some of you might not know, those of us that are in the automotive world, we all know this clearly, but what some of you might not know is that literally tens of thousands of families' lives are currently at stake. When it comes to the automotive world, tens of thousands of families' lives, maybe hundreds of thousands of families' lives are at stake. Yes. I'm not exaggerating the number. I'm not trying to be dramatic. This is a real life number. You see, the auto industry as we know it is under attack. It's under attack. You've got Teslas and Carvanas. You've got these big tech companies like Apple and Google and Amazon. You've got all of these people that are coming in, all of these private companies that have all kinds of ridiculous amounts of money, right? They have unlimited money. They don't have to follow federal franchise laws. It's wild, wild west. And they're coming in, right? They're coming in and they're wiping out the family-owned and operated dealerships that have made this country strong for the last 100 years. They're taking out a lot of them, not all of them. They're taking out a lot of them. And then to top that off, you have the manufacturers themselves. The manufacturers themselves, Chrysler, Ford, General Motors, all of these manufacturers, they're actually working on technology themselves to be able to deliver a vehicle direct to a consumer, to avoid the middleman, right? To get rid of the dealers that have invested their time, their energy, their legacy, and their entire lives to promote these particular brands. And they're trying to like backdoor them, go around them. It's crazy. It's crazy. And so what I've got outside this room, outside these walls, just down the street here, is we've got 150 dealers that are willing to do whatever it takes to not let that happen. We've got 150 dealers and vendor partners and speakers and all of these people that are fighting. They're literally fighting this fight to make sure that that doesn't happen, that we don't remove the people, the humans, the blood, sweat, and tears that have made this industry what it is, that we don't remove those people and replace them with a bunch of non-connected robots and systems that ultimately have no idea or the inability to build a relationship with our consumers. They're fighting over there, man. And you see it in every single one of them, this passion and this drive. But to be honest with you, it's like a David and Goliath situation. It really is. It's virtually David versus Goliath out there in the automotive world. Have you ever heard that story? If you haven't heard the story of David and Goliath, I'm going to share it with you real quick. It's kind of a long story, so I want to paraphrase pieces of it. I don't know if you're allowed to paraphrase this book or not, but there's this incredible book. This incredible book, it's the #1 best-selling book of all time, and it's called the Bible. It's sold 3.6 or distributed 3.6 billion copies. 3.6 billion. So whether you believe or you're not a believer, whether you're a spiritual person, you're not a spiritual person, whether you have different religious beliefs or not, there is something about this book that's pretty dang impressive. 3.6 billion copies. I highly suggest you all spend some time reading it. You'd be amazed at what information and wisdom is in there in all different areas and aspects of your life. It's incredible, right? So in this book called the Bible, there's this story of David and Goliath. You can read it if you go to Psalm 117. You'll be able to read the book, read the whole thing. I'm not going to give you the whole thing word for word. That's not happening this morning. All right. But I'm going to give you pieces of it. So basically what you had is you had the Philistines, right? The Philistines gathered their forces of war and they assembled at this place called Soko in Judah. And they pitched up a camp at the Ephes Damim, right between Soko and Azekah. And this guy named Saul and the Israelites assembled and they camped in the valley of Elah and drew up their battle line to meet the Philistines. All right, so just imagine you got this camp, they're ready for war. Then the Philistines occupied one hill and the Israelites another. So there's this valley in between them, right? You got the Philistines on one side, you got the Israelites on the other. You got this valley, this space in between them. Like I'm here in Napa Valley right now, right? And then there's this champion named Goliath. Think about this big gladiator type dude, right? Who was from Gath, and he comes out of the Philistine camp. Now this dude, the Bible says his height was 6 cubits and a span. So to give you an idea of what that is, that's like 9 feet tall, right? He had a bronze helmet on his head and wore a coat of scale armor of bronze weighing 5,000 shekels. So he had this huge, heavy coat of armor. On his legs, he wore bronze greaves, and a bronze javelin was slung on his back. His spear shaft was like a weaver's rod, and its iron point weighed 600 shekels, just the point of the rod itself, right? His shield bearer went ahead of him. So he had a shield bearer in front of him. He has this staff. He's got all of this huge armor. He's 9 feet freaking tall, right? Like, and he stands out there and he shouts to the rank of Israel. He says, "Why do you come out and line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine, and are you not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and have him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome and kill him, you become our subjects and serve us," right? Then he says, "This day I defy the armies of Israel. Give me a man and let us fight each other." So basically what he's saying is, dude, I don't care what the politicians are saying. I don't really care what this battle is supposed to be about. I'm not interested in that. What he's saying is, like, if you can come down here and take me out, the war's over. We'll lay down our everything. We will become your servants. You win. All you gotta do is take me out. You don't have to battle this whole thing. I don't care what nobody says. You don't have to battle the government. You take me. If you can take me, your people go free, right? The battle's over. So he's out there making this declaration. Now, what's crazy is this dude Goliath goes out there every single day for 40 days and does this. Every day for 40 days. And everybody's scared to death because he's huge and he's tremendous and he's unbeatable, right? He's crazy. He's insane. So nobody wants to step out up against this dude, right? So he's out there shouting every single day for 40 days. And while he's out there shouting, the Israelites are in there and they're just hiding. They're shaking in their boots. They're scared. They're scared. And so Saul's brother David ends up coming out, right? His dad sends him out there. He says, "Hey, you need to come out here and take them some bread, take them some food, so on and so forth," right? David was the third. He was the youngest. He was the youngest of all the brothers, right? And after 40 days of this, the dad said to David, he said, "Bro, take these 10 loaves of bread to your brothers, hurry to their camp," right? You got to go out there. Take these cheeses. Make sure they all got food. They've been out there for 40 days hiding in the bunker, scared to death. Make sure they're okay, right? And so David goes out there. And when David goes out there, he sees Goliath out there shouting and screaming. And so David asks the men standing near them, "What will be done for the man who kills this Philistine and removes this disgrace from Israel? Who is the Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" Like, who is this dude? How is it that this dude has this opportunity? Like what are y'all doing? Why you like, who is this guy? He can't defy God. He's not bigger than God. He's not better than God, right? And so the brothers, they hear him speaking to the other men and they're angry and they say to him, "Why have you come down here? And who did you leave with the sheep? Like you're supposed to be guarding the sheep. How conceited you are and how wicked your heart is. You came down only to watch the battle." And so basically his brothers are calling him out, right? They're saying, "Bro, you're supposed to go back to your corner. You don't know what you're talking about. Go back to your corner." And here David is the youngest. He left everything behind. He risked the sheep, which you don't risk the sheep, right? He risked the sheep. He risked everything. He defies his brothers. He's ready to do whatever it takes because he knows what's happening in this particular situation is ridiculous and that people's fears are ultimately keeping them from this opportunity to serve out God's plan for his people, right? And so finally, after much conversation between him and his brother, so on and so forth, David decides to run out into battle, into the valley, in front of all of the people. And David says to the Philistine, he says, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, But I come against you in the name of the Lord I am Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I will strike you down and cut off your head. This very day I will give the carcasses of the Philistine army to the birds and the wild animals, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands. And Goliath stepped towards David. David ran quickly. It says this in the Bible. It says David ran quickly toward the battle. Wow. David ran quickly toward the battle line to meet him. Reaching into his bag, taking out a stone, he slung it, struck the Philistine on the forehead. The stone sank into his forehead and he fell face down onto the ground. David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone. Without a sword in his hand, he struck down the Philistine and killed him. And then ultimately cut off his head. A little bit of a crazy, morbid story for you first thing this morning. But here's the thing. You see, David was willing to do whatever it takes for what he believed in. Those dealers down the street are willing to do whatever it takes for what they believe in. What about you? Are you willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that your business takes off and survives? Are you willing to do whatever it takes to make sure to get your family out of danger and to ultimately be able to make a long-lasting impact in their lives? Are you willing to do whatever it takes for your legacy, for those that you are called, divinely called, to impact in a positive way? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Will you stand up against Goliath? Like, can you honestly say that you would run quickly into the battle? That's what we're talking about today. That's what we're talking about this week. Whatever it takes. So let's dive in. But before we do, you know what we got to do around here? Darian, if you could get me some tunes over here on Clubhouse, I'd appreciate it. I might have some feedback on that. Okay, I can do it that way. There we go. All right, beautiful. Yeah, Darian, how we doing? Yeah, perfect, Darian. I love it. Thank you. All right, let's go. I know y'all are like, whoa, okay. All right, wait a minute. What's the energy like this morning? What's the mood? I don't know. We're talking about chopping off heads and stuff. All right, so listen, this is the part of the show. This is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button, all right? Now that we got sound, all right, this is the part of the show. If you're listening over on Facebook, I need you to hit the share button. If you're on Clubhouse over here, I need you to hit the plus button in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, right? Invite some people over. This is also the part of the show where we're going to get that body in motion, okay? An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest, all right? So we need to get you rocking and rolling this morning. It's time to get moving. If you're on a run a little bit harder. If you're lifting weights, let's lift a little bit more. All right, let's go. If you were laying in bed, I need you to get your rear end up out of bed and let's go. It's time for us to grind, okay? Fair enough? Now, this is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live, you're watching on replay, whatever, you're listening on YouTube, you're listening on Clubhouse, connect with me. Say good morning. I'll say good morning back. Fair enough? Fair enough. What's up, Natalie Nicole? How you doing, Bruce Miller? What's up, Sean Weatherby? Great to see you this morning. I see Marilyn Wilkin is in here. She's been in the midst of an amazing transformation over the last year. It's incredible. I see Don Sankey's in the house. I see Emily Galler. She says I'm stretching. Come on, Emily. Let's go. Keep moving. We got Carrie Lynn Carter. Yeah, there we go. We've got J&T Palmer. We've got Mike Stevens, Robin Price. We've got Soul Salcido. Great to see you this morning. What's up, Natalie Nicole? We've got Lydia Best, Sean Weatherby, John Bannon is in the house, Wes Storm, Coco Lewis, Lisa Brady, Julie Lentini. Proud of you, Julie. We've got Larissa Harrington's up in here this morning. What's up, AJ Anderson, Vicki Everett, Pam Woosley over on Clubhouse. I see my man Justin. I see El Michelle. I see we've got Bernita and Janice and Dora Maria. I see Tony Mo and Pam Pandora and Monica, and Raquel is in the house. We've got Billionaire S, we've got Amanda, I see Liza Myers, Porches, and Mel, and Megan, and Joy, and Nathaniel. Credit Ninja's up in here this morning. What's up, Jeff, the entrepreneur? Great to see you as well. I see Treva, and of course, the one and only Brielle Reach. Did I say that right this time? Because I've been calling you Richie forever, and I think I heard you say it differently the other day, and I need to clarify that. I see Tamara, I see Tiffany, I see Solana, and my man Coach Isaac is up in here this morning, and many, many more. I'm super stoked to have you up in here. This is incredible. All right, with that said, we are running a little bit behind on time because we had some technical difficulties this morning. So I'm just letting y'all know, if you just popped into the room here on Clubhouse, and we're going to be going for about 10 or 15 more minutes. All right, with that said, let's segue. Darian, if you've got that segue music, great. If not, it's okay. Let's go ahead and segue into the rest of today's episode of Hashtag Rise and Grind. Turn that one up, D.
You're enough, man. I'm telling you. You're already enough. A child of God, uniquely made by the God of the universe. Can you believe it? The God that made everything, he made
Sorry,
you
we're good now, Darian. We're good.
to be the best version of yourself, and you're making these incredible decisions. Join this group.
All right, D, kill it, brother, kill it. Perfect. Thank you. All right, Hope Solo said this. Hope Solo said, I think people have different definitions of team unity. My definition of doing whatever it takes to win. What makes a great team is performance on the field and respect on the field. John Assaraf said this about whatever it takes. He said, if you're interested, you will do what is convenient. If you're committed, you'll do whatever it takes. Vanita Van Caspel said this. The person who takes no chances generally must take whatever is left over after others have finished choosing. Overcaution is as bad, if not worse, than lack of caution. Both should be avoided. Life will always contain an element of chance. Not to win is a sin, and not to try is a tragedy. Steph Curry, the great Steph Curry, said this. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you have or don't have. All you need to have is faith in God, an undying passion for what you do and what you choose to do in this life, and a relentless drive and the will to do whatever it takes to be successful in whatever you put your mind to. Whatever it takes. What does the whatever it takes mindset look like? What does it feel like? What does it taste like? And here's the thing, whatever it takes differs from person to person. The definition and the understanding of whatever it takes will change from me to you, depending on your life, your experiences, your impact, your legacy. The divine plan that God has for you. It's different. Everybody's perspective of whatever it takes is a little bit different. But here's what I know. When it comes to whatever it takes, here's what you're going to find common across the board. A whatever it takes mindset is one filled with passion. A whatever it takes mindset has a hunger for winning. A whatever it takes mindset has a belief system and an attitude of perseverance. Or whatever it takes mindset is this knowledge and this positive expectation that everything ultimately is going to come together, even though the odds look like they're stacked against you, even though it would take a miracle. Or whatever it takes mindset says, I don't care. At some point, it will come together to create a magical concoction that generally elevates normal human beings and turns them into legends. I'm going to say that one more time for those of you in the back. A whatever it takes mindset can take normal human beings like you and me and turn us into legends. I don't know if that resonates with you, but that sure resonates with me. You feel me? So check it out. So I'm going to give you 5 pieces, and I'm going to give them to you super fast, right? Because here's where we're at in the show. It took me 5 minutes to get the sound. All right, I got 6 minutes. I got 6 minutes to give you 5 pieces that you have to have, right? To help you, to like help shift you. Like I know that for some of you, having a whatever it takes mindset is tough. I know that for some of you, life has beat you down, limited your mindset, experiences, sicknesses, illnesses, all of those things. I understand that for some of you, this whatever it takes, I'm going to be fearless. I'm going to run down into the valley and I'm going to fight Goliath with a slingshot and a stone because I have enough faith and passion and understanding to know that at some point it's all going to come together for the greater good, for God's divine plan in my life. I know that for some of you, that's a stretch. I know that for some of you, you're like, I just don't see myself that way, Glenn. I don't see myself being able to step down into that valley. And so what I want to do with you this week, what I want to do with you today is I want to shift that because I believe that when you can get to that whatever takes place, that you can become the legend that you ultimately deserve to be. You see, you are a legend. You were a winner before you were born. The fact that you're even alive is an absolute miracle. And that tells me that there's purpose and passion and desire that exists inside you. But earthly things, past and history, may have squashed some of that light. And I'm here to bring it back out. I'm here to bring it back out of you. You, I believe, have the ability and are a legend. So I'm going to give you 5 and I'm going to give them to you fast. Right? In order for you to have a whatever it takes mindset, step 1 is you have to track and measure everything. I know it sounds crazy, but listen to me. You have to track and measure everything. I'm going to ask you a question right now. How much money do you have? It's an easily measurable unit. That's why I'm using money. Not that it's the most important thing, but it's easily measurable. How much do you have? Do you know to the dollar? Why not? You should know to the dollar. You should be tracking and measuring every single day before I even get on this show. As soon as I get done with my gratitude, I get done with my goals, I look at my calendar, make sure I know what's on the calendar. Are all of those things serving me? And then the very next thing I do is I go into every single one of my accounts and I look. And is my money moving forward? Is my money moving back? Are there expenses out of there that I didn't know about? Are there things that are missing? Am I where I want to be? Do I not have enough? Do I have enough? Is my family okay? You monitor and measure, track and measure everything. You see this with elite athletes. They track and measure every ounce that they put, food that they put into their body. They track and measure every workout that they do, every calorie that they gain or lose, right? It's tracking and measuring everything in your life. When you track and measure everything in your life, then you can ultimately shift, adjust, pivot. You can make the moves to get into this whatever it takes place. You have to be conscious of it. You can't sweep it under the rug. You can't say, you know what? I don't have enough and I'm okay with that. So I'm just not going to look at it because it makes me feel crappy when I look at my account that's negative $37. No, I need you to see that negative $37 staring you in the dang face every single moment. So you'll do whatever it takes to get out of that situation. Fair enough. Number 1 is you have to track and measure everything. Number 2 is you have to increase your productivity. You must increase your productivity. Your current level of productivity ultimately is getting you the result that you currently are getting. Now, if you do not feel that that result is you living up to your fullest potential, if you do not feel that the result you're currently getting is you doing whatever it takes, to put your legacy, to make sure your legacy is not in danger, if you don't feel it's there, you must increase your productivity. It's the only way you're going to get there. You must do more in less time. I was having a conversation with some people last night. Right now, I'm talking to you on 2 hours and 10 minutes of sleep. My productivity when it comes to sleep is spot on because I've researched, I've studied, I've done all of the work, and I know how to sleep faster than most people. I know that sounds crazy, right? It sounds superhuman. Oh, wait. Normal humans become legends. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure. So when you have a whatever it takes mindset, a normal human can become a legend? Yes. Fact. Truth. It's truth. I sleep faster than most people. Why? Because I'm determined to increase my productivity levels. I know that that's what it's going to take to make sure my family's never in danger, my legacy's never in danger. The people that I'm supposed to make a positive impact in their life are in no jeopardy of me coming up short. Number 3, make sure you have the right tools. Please make sure you have the right tools. David went up into the Goliath and pulled out a slingshot and a stone. That was the right tool. That was the right tool to get the job done, right? But his preparedness mentally and physically is ultimately what took down Goliath. So many of you are working with archaic tools, and I do talk to my automotive peeps when it comes to this. Many of you are working with archaic tools. You don't want to embrace technology. You don't want to invest in the tools that you need in order to be successful. A tool might be a coach. A tool might be a class. A tool might be a course. A tool might be some software. A tool might be some hardware, right? But you don't want to invest in the tool because you don't have the whatever it takes mindset. You have a if it's convenient mindset, or if it makes sense, or if it's easy. No. You got to have the right tools, man. You would never go to paint. Like if you got a room in your house right now, you would never go to paint the room in your house. You would never say, you know what, I'm going to go paint this whole room and I'm going to do it with a toothbrush. You'd never do that. You'd go out, you'd buy some rollers, you'd buy some brushes, you'd get a ladder, you get some plastic to get on the floor. You get the right tools. You put yourself in a position to do whatever it takes to get that room painted, right? Do the same thing with every other aspect of your life. Number 4 is you need to be ready and willing to adjust your sails. You need to be ready and willing to adjust your sails. Listen, whatever plan you map out, it's not going to go that way. Whatever you thought was going to happen next, you're going to be wrong. I'm just letting you know right now. There is no plan that's going to take you through from get to go all the way through the end to the highest levels of success in your life, to the full abundance, to all of the different areas and aspects, all of the different areas and aspects of your life that you were called to, your greatest greatness, right? It's not going to happen that way. I see so many people that get stuck in the plan. Well, here's what I did. Here's what I went to college for. I invested 10 years of my life into this thing. And so I'm just going to stick with it, even though I know I could be doing more, even though I could be making a bigger impact. This is what I've done. This was the plan. I'm going to roll this out for another 5 years or maybe another 10. And I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this, blah, 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 blah. And they're just stuck. Versus going, I'm going to do whatever it takes to live out my legacy, become a legend, make a positive impact in other people's lives. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure my family's never in danger. I'm never in a position where I cannot fulfill my obligations and my destiny on this planet, right? Be flexible. Dude, I've had to do all kinds of changes. I had to make all kinds of changes all the time. I had to make changes this morning to try to figure out how I can get this message out to you. So be ready to adjust those sails at any given time. And here's the last one. I apologize, or I don't apologize. Here's the last one. And thank you for offering me grace when it comes to flawed systems. Because I am definitely a flawed system. All right. So thank you for offering me grace in that. Number 5. In order for you to shift that mindset to a whatever it takes mindset, I want these words to resonate in your ears. When you want it, own it. When you want it, own it. Like, if you know what you want, don't shy away from it. Don't say, well, I shouldn't want that. I shouldn't want that. I should probably, it's okay. I just want to be comfortable. I just need enough to be comfortable, even though your dreams are calling you for more. If you notice, the people that do whatever it takes, the founders of our country in the beginning, the biggest and most successful philanthropists on the planet, the ones that say whatever it takes, the absolute legends on this planet. If you look, they owned it. They stepped right into it. People said, you're crazy. They said, yep. People said, you can't. They said, I hear you. I'm going to do it anyway. People said, well, that doesn't make sense. They were like, great, perfect. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Like, I need you to own it. It is okay for you to live a life of abundance. It is okay for you to desire a life of impact. It is okay for you to want to reach more people, connect with more people, to be on bigger stages. It's okay to want a light to be shined on you so that you can share the light that's in you with others. It is okay to chase your dreams. It is okay to seek that which you desire. It's totally okay, but you have to own it. You have to own it. You have to pump your chest out. You have to step into every room and say, I'm going to do whatever it takes. Listen, my friend, you are a child of God, the God of the universe. And that God has given you this gift, right? This responsibility, this divine destiny, right? And that God says, you know what? I don't care what stands in your way. I don't care what stands in your way. I will give you the tools. I will provide. If you will just believe, if you will believe that you're going to do with passion, with desire, whatever it takes, if you will believe and take actions, you can fulfill any desire and dream that you have. Because ultimately those desires and dreams were given to you for a purpose that I believe is for you to make an impact in other people's lives, in your friends' lives, in your family members' lives, in your coworkers' lives. And so it's so incredibly important. It's crucial. It's dire. Lives are at stake if you don't step into that which is yours. When I opened my Rise and Grind planner this morning, I'm going to end with this. There was a quote from Joan Goble. And the quote says this: if your why is big enough, you'll find out your how. But whatever it takes mindset comes down to just that. Understanding why it is that this is so important that you step into your greatness, and the rest will continue to come together. Listen, my friends, that's today's episode of #Rise and Grind. I know I went way over, so I appreciate you bearing with me, but I absolutely stinking love you. Get out there, have an incredible day, do whatever it takes, all right? Whatever it takes for you to own it. I need you to own it. Own that dream, own that vision. I need you to be willing and ready and able to adjust your sails and pivot at any time. Make sure that you have the right tools to be able to reach that level, that legendary level that exists inside you. Increase your productivity. You're going to have to do more than what you're doing now. I'm just telling you, to get to where you're going, you're going to have to do more than what you're doing now. And lastly, make sure you track and measure every single thing. That way you can make those pivots and adjustments and get to where you want to go. All right, I've been loud. The neighbors are probably upset up over here, but I got to go. All right, I stinking love you. Have an incredible day. We're going to go hang out on Clubhouse. If you want, you can go hang out over there. If you need more videos like this, you can go to GlennLundy.com. You're welcome to do that. If you haven't checked out the Breakfast with Champions podcast yet and downloaded that, please go do that for me. I greatly appreciate it. But most importantly, come back here again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We're going to do this all over again on #Rise and Grind. Have an incredible day. See you.